through everyone. There was an upper bracket finals between these two that, well, Onic Esports were able to win, and the then Bryn Esports would eventually get knocked down to the lower bracket. But that's where it all started, and here we find ourselves again in an SPS elimination match this time in the lower bracket between these two. It really just doubles down on the thought of the whole old guard, new guard thing we've got going on for the playoffs.
It was a 3-2 win to AP Bren in the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 3 Challenge Finals. Oh, sorry, Onic won, but in the group stage, it was AP Bren winning. So it was a 1-1 in SPS. And right now, if we take a look at the stats, Falcons did win in the group stage too. So, you know, if we're looking at patterns here, that's what it's looking like. Kyrie on the Suyo, definitely more pressure early on.
Okay, that's going to be a toss by Keyboy. FlapTZ out of position. It looks like he's going to get countered, but the Abyssal Arrow lands from Few to help FlapTZ get away, and now Kyrie gets punished with the electrifying beats committed by Kyle TZ. Lutpi brought low Keyboy as well. They're safely under tower. They back off unless will Few want to toss an arrow. Oh, it just threaded between the two.
Great control from Team Falcons, the composure to look at Onic Esports' early game composition here, early game control, and say, no, we can fight it as long as we're able to bite out some resources. So Flap surviving there gave them the opportunity to go in, and now it is full turtle control for them. Keyboy, though, still wants to contest.
The Jawhead marked right now, no flicker for the Jawhead, so no surprises could be coming in. But Team Falcons are still respecting. Onic Esports can do in a team fight. Abyssal Arrow will land on Lutpi, and they're just gonna dive immediately onto the CC, even though it has a vengeance. Real world manipulation by the E brought down Kaltis. He gets punished, and it was stolen actually by Kyrie. Can he get away from FlapTZ? Looks like he will. Keyboy already in the red, but San's able to help him out. What a win by Onic.
Good backup from the rest of Onic. SOD!
It's gonna land? No, it's way too risky at this point in the game.
Okay. It's back to Team Falcons now, right? Backing away, even with the Abyssal. God, that was a lot of Abyssal traps in the enemy jungle. Trying to get vision, maybe a cheeky little steal on the purple buff. But you could definitely see it there. Despite the early win for Team Falcons, they aren't really in the lead when it comes to mid-control. Mid-control still controlled heavily by Onic Esports, and Keyboy does have unstoppable force. Doesn't decide to utilize it. For Falcons, they need to just go even in this early game. If they are able to go even, then that Selena will definitely be a threat as we get into mid-game. Same goes for Mr. Kyle on this Joy.
Yeah, a little bit of threat in the jungle of Kyle. It's a heavy 4-man rotation top side. Controlling that quadrant of the map. Here comes Ogun to help out. Sans jump down just a little bit. Kyle TZ dashing in and out. He's going to get tossed by Keyboy in an instant burst by Onic Esports. Few lands the Abyssal Arrow, and it's going to bring Lutpi down low, but Lutpi still alive with a vengeance just in time. FlapTZ getting chased right now. Abyssal Arrow getting tossed. That means Onic Esports won't completely step on the gas to chase down Flap.
Super fast tempo from Onic Esports, just as we were talking about in the draft and in the playstyle of Onic Esports here. Really a lot of similarities to the Araki Hoshi of Season 9, where they will just constantly utilize their roamer. It was Vin for Araki Hoshi's Adi's team in Season 9. Now Keyboy to go and invade the jungle for their jungler to get that lead. And now with the 1-level lead, about to be 2-level lead on Kyle TZ that Suyo has, it will be even more mid-pressure trio that they have.
It's going to be a kick by Ogwin onto Keyboy, and is Ogwin getting punished? Keyboy with a flicker and the toss-up as well. Few gets taken down. Onic Esports are punishing a few of the mistimed engages by Team Falcons early on.
Yeah, again, we were just talking about the mid-trio pressure being just overwhelming for Onic Esports, especially...
That was close.
Very close from Super Marco.
It looks like it clipped the turtle in the tail, but it wasn't enough damage. But okay, Onic Esports still gets the turtle, and they're still in control.
Yeah, mid-trio pressure, non-existent from Team Falcons right now. It really feels like they're just forcing it out. Some of these pickoffs, very forced. The combo with the Cho and the Selena, I understand it, but there's just too much CC, too much utility as well for Onic Esports. Sans on this Eve has punished every single commitment from Team Falcons. They dive in, and the real-world manipulation stops them and actually kills them.
Now bot side, that's where they have their eyes set. Keyboy with a toss onto the gold crab, and Severo got the last hit, so that's a little bit more of an extended gold lead for Severo's Irithel, now closing it on 1,000 at this point of the game. Kyle TZ diving under the tower. Lutpi, even though he had the vengeance, he gets taken out. Bot side, though, gets pushed by Onic.
Oh, I was about to say maybe turret for kill, but it's a good SOD to delay the inevitable and to give Team Falcons more time up top to possibly make some more things happen. But Kairi, quick with it, instantly from the bottom lane, he goes straight to the top lane, stopping that trade from happening.
Team Falcons, hopefully they acknowledge that with Super Marco behind on the farm, it's not going to go completely their way just yet in the mid-game. They have to accept that Onic are in control and will be in control for some time unless Few or Ogwens suddenly changes the tempo of the game with a pick-off. A missile arrow lands at the Kiboy. Ogwen shows himself, forces it back, while Onic are looking into taking away the purple buff from Kyle TZ. Kairi goes in. Kyle TZ still gets his purple buff, and Ludwig gets punished. An easy defend of the purple buff by Falcons.
There you can see definitely the miscommunications from Onic Esports as well.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Team Falcons still opted to go for the Selena in the end, right? They know that they will sacrifice a little bit or maybe a lot of that early game pressure, but they know just how uncoordinated Onic Esports have looked at times, especially in the mid game. So punishing them through, again, those spears landing have been a pretty good way to still stabilize despite the gold lead held by Onic. Flap also just poking Sans down. That's the benefit of the Hilda. And for Kairi, still a level ahead. Only one though, no longer two.
Missile arrow going to land again, but they're now hesitant to dive on that jawhead. They felt it earlier, and it's hard for them to get close while Flapteasy has his eyes set on Sans, who commits a flicker to get him back. Open with a kick onto the CC, but Kairi still gets the turtle. Kyle Teasy versus Kairi. Electrifying beats already onto the Suyo, but Kairi will be able to get over the wall and into safety while Few lands another Abyssal to stop Onyx's push.
Great neutral objective take. It was a long, drawn-out fight, and Super Marco here, you could definitely see that he's way more comfortable playing in the normal Super Marco style of being able to farm freely compared to, you know, that Ube style where he just can't. He can't go for that 4-1. It's way too risky. So many ways to pick off from the opposing team. Now, Orange Buff taken away by Kairi.
Oh, that's going to be a steal. No buff right now on this Joy. Kaltizi's still going to go after it. No more electrifying beats, but he punishes. No! I spoke too soon. Kairi with just enough spell vamp to survive. Flapteasy will go after Ludwig, and no one falls. Kairi, what an escape out in the mid lane. Few gets picked by Onic.
Keyboy flickering forward, getting the missiles to just take Few down. And that's definitely going to halt the mid-game power spike of Team Falcons even more now. They still have good wave clear. Super Marco has been sent back into the mid lane from the bottom lane to clear it out and stop this push from happening. Holy Crystal on the way for Kyle TZ. Stadium site already done, but take a look at that 1.47k gold lead that Sans has over Few. This was the problem that, you know, Falcons would eventually have to deal with.
Yeah.
Yves versus Selena. This matchup isn't really the best. Sans still has ult.
Oh,
no, he doesn't.
Okay, electrifying beats committed, and Sans, yeah, he held on to it. I thought he'd pop it to try and punish Kyle for going in a little bit too deep, but he thought, nah, it's a Joy with a bunch of dashes. Might as well just hold on to it while...
That's what's good for Falcons now. Their win condition is still waiting for the Joy, waiting for the Moskov to get to their power spikes. And once that happens, then their composition can truly be online. Then they can actually look for some fights. So again, despite the goal lead, Falcons are very much still in this game. They can still utilize, you know, Few and Flap as pure utility and rely on the Joy, who has already hit one of his power spikes on the Holy Crystal. That's Starlium and Holy Crystal second item. And for the Moskov, just a little bit more for that Holy Trinity.
Yeah, a little bit more discipline. I think it's now what we're going to see from these two. Around 9 minutes and 30 in. The force breastplate for Ludwig should help him out. And of course, with the control reduction you can get once you have those stacks in. Few still tossing Abyssal arrows and still getting info. Able to mark Sans. Flapteasy in the back. Good man marking as well. Kaltizi already going in straight for Ludwig. Blasts him with the electrifying beats. But Sans with a real world manipulation. Just in time. Keyboy with a toss up. It looks like they're going to be able to punish Flapteasy. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Both EXP laners down.
1-for-1, but I can't help but think it's worth it for Falcons. Way more worth it for Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Because Onic Esports have the tempo in this at this point of the game. They're the ones leading. They're the ones that should be, you know, making these proactive plays, pushing Falcons back.
Oh, a kick by the Master. Too quick to see, but Keyboy even quicker with his own flicker just to get out to safety. And Team Falcons will not get the pick.
Yeah, again, when you are in the lead, when you have this kind of composition, you need to make things fast. You cannot give Team Falcons space to breathe. And so far, Falcons have been able to force out ways for them to breathe in the game.
Because of that force engage, Super Marco gonna land the SOD. It looks like Team Falcons are gonna go for the post-objective punish. Electrifying beats already popped, but Onic Esports smartly backs off instantly. So they'll march in with the Lord even though they lost Kiboy.
Okay, there you go. There you're starting to see Onic Esports finally sacrificing, you know, a few of these members to get the kill. Unfortunately, though, for Onic Esports, Mr. Few is starting to get online. Those Abyssal arrows are coming out very quick, always on a very short cooldown too.
Yeah.
And they also just gave a shutdown over. Keyboy was holding 3 kills in, you know, his KD, and that's a big bounty to be given out to Falcons, who have been, you know, I think, floating around their power spike, and now they are truly within the realm of coming back.
Yeah, it's a slight gold lead for Onic Esports, but definitely Team Falcons are in the right setup to be able to, well, force something, anything with any of their pick-off-centered heroes in the Cho and the Selena. Few's been man-marking so well, but Onic Esports, it's like they're just running through the... It's not even a wall. It's like they're just running through security right now. You can see them in the CCTV. They're, block them as you will. They're just hammering through all of the security. Team Falcons will hold on to the tower in the mid. Is Ogwin going to push it? And no, it's Keyboy with the toss-up onto Ogwin. A slight moment of hesitation gets punished by Keyboy's jawhead.
Oh, wow. A lot of damage. Kyle TZ, what item is he on? Bloodwing's third item. Knows that it has been quite difficult for him to actually dive in. A lot of these times he's been shredded down by the physical defense shred of the missiles, plus, you know, the physical damage they have here. Keyboy, Seal? No.
Is he going to commit? No. He held on to the flicker. Just wanted to do the old recall TP. If you can't do it physically, mechanically, then you're going to do it mentally, you know?
Absolutely. It's a mental game that they are playing too. 7-6 currently in the 12-minute mark. For Team Falcons, they're still desperately waiting for the comfort time for them to actually look for these fights. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe the Melphic gun for Moskov? Are they really gonna have to wait for, you know, full items at this point for Moskov before they're comfortable enough to go and look for a fight? Kyle is also on the way. Oh, luckily.
Okay, he's already showing himself up. He's diving in. It looks like they really want to fight this. Look, he brought low Sans, real world manipulation a little bit early.
Moskov.
That's a big signal. Moskov, SOD lads, is going to commit it. But look, Super Marco pushing in the top side because Onic were hunting for kills. Super Marco was hunting for turrets.
The base turret is open. Severo pops. No, I thought he sprinted there. I think it was the GDS.
Yeah,
that's why it was so quick right after the heavy crossbow. And it forced Team Falcons to back away from the top lane, but they've got all that they wanted. And this was what we were talking about. The comeback turn for Team Falcons. Right as we get into that 10-minute mark, and Falcons were scaling up pretty well despite the 2,000 gold lead, means that they'll be very, very comfortable at this time. And again, like we were waiting for, Melphic Gun is on the way. Mr. Super Marco has just picked up that Fury Hammer.
Okay.
Ogwin's has been playing a very annoying game of Cho, right? Like, he hasn't been looking for a lot of these picks. He hasn't been able to get a lot of these picks, but he's been quite annoying. Always just constantly lingering around and making Onic Esports think that it's a possible pick.
Yeah, he gets picked or
Keyboy?
tries to pick. Oh, Keyboy. Oh, fast. Super Marco able to avoid it. Keyboy no longer has conceal and the flicker as well. Are they just gonna decide to push this out? Looks like they will get a TZ brought low! Severo with the pick onto the jungler! Another TZ falls! Could be Few up next, but Severo gets stunned. Ogwin with a kick, but will they be able to take down this Irithel? And they do! But the punish is real! 3 are down on the side of Falcons, and it looks like Ogwin will be the 4th, as Super Marco will be left in the map. And Ogwin finally falls with the Lord marching out of Onyx base.
Oh, it all started with what looked to be a small blunder. Keyboy tried to predict the step of Super Marco. Instead, he flickers awkwardly into the turret and gets nothing. It looked good for Team Falcons, but then out of nowhere, Cal TZ, I think there was a bit of miscommunication on their side too. They wanted to go in, but it was only Kyle TZ. Marco was not in a position to actually dive in, and he didn't really have an angle to SOD inside. So it ended up being very awkward, even more so for Team Falcons than it was for Onic Esports. Severo took control, and they were just damage controlling at that point for Falcons. They tried to go for Severo, who overextended, and then it kind of collapsed. Luckily, though, Onic Esports were kind of staggered and they weren't able to manage the waves properly, so should just be a tier 2 up top here, taken by Onic.
Yeah, still have the control. You see the pokes now onto this hill. The flat TZ already gets taken out. A kick and a stun. Sans gets taken out as well. Super Marco, his SOD did not land. Kyrie falls to few. Kyle TZ trying to get away as Severo. Lutfi and Keyboy will chase him down. 2 for 2. Will Team Falcons try to? No, they're not going to try to look for anything else. They're just going to both level things out.
Tier 2, only Tier 2 taken up top. The rest of the waves are safe for Team Falcons, and you can start to see Melthic Gun 2 for Severo. So both of the gold laners at full items. It is still Marco who has a bit of that gold lead on the Moscow, but it's, again, due to him just split pushing and getting farm across the map. He'll have more gold to swap these items as we get into these fights, but they... Severo!
Sudden aggression! SOD's gonna land and Super Marco with the Wind of Nature. He pops it. Keyboy's gonna get kicked, zoned out, and now Keyboy will fall as well. A sudden decision by Onic, by Severo to be the explosive Severo suddenly gets turned around in front of them.
That is the experience that we've kind of been foreshadowing all the way from the pre-show. Team Falcons, they will not make such a mistake going in greedily for a kill when they are still, very much in the advantage.
Yeah.
And for Onic Esports, Severo, that young blood, got him really, really baited by Team Falcons.
Ogwen finds the kick, but Sans able to survive. Ogwen gets punished, but Team Falcons want towers. It's only one base hurt remaining for Onic Esports, but Flat TZ gets stunned by Kyrie. It gets damaged by Kyrie.
Oh.
Kyle TZ goes in, and he gets punished as well as Kyrie. We thought he was down, but he was able to get away just in time from Kyle.
All right, never mind. Scratch what I said. Experience. What? Severo made a mistake. Falcons have just made a bigger one. They got a base turret in the mid lane, but it's for a Lord. At this point of the game, 3-0 in a way. The trade becomes, if you want to count Severo in, it's a 3-for-1 then. If Severo overextended, what did Falcons do? They overflew.
Yeah, and the Onic Esports, you see now, from aggression, from a little bit of, what the heck are you doing? Why are you so aggressive? Where's the discipline? Suddenly, they slowed down that Lord and waited for the SOD, and then they continued it. Yeah, what happened there in the mid lane was terrible if you're a Team Falcons fan, because suddenly your advantage is gone. Flap TZ might be gone next up in the docket. They're chasing after the hill, but Severo again going in. Punish Kyle TZ with the electrifying beats. Keyboy could be up next. Team Falcons looks like they're gonna be able to get more. They get two, and suddenly this Lord is amounting to nothing as Ogun with a kickoff to Lutfi right now onto the CC, but Super Marco goes into the mid. Vengeance by the Moscow. Lutfi's still alive, but Marco, Ogun, and Flap too much for him to handle.
What is going on? We saw a masterclass MLBB match in our first match, game number 2, and in the next one, it is a slugfest, a battle of blunders, and so far, it's been Severo with a mistake, Falcons with a mistake, and then back to Severo and the rest of the team falling in every single time. Now, it's Sans who is forced to defend together with Kyrie. There are no big waves available though, only one in the mid lane, and it will be cleared out. So technically, we could have gone and erased all those blunders, and it will still be the same game.
But, I like it. I like what we're seeing.
It's a slugfest.
We could have gotten MLBB in the sheets. We got MLBB for the streets. And come on, man. This is Onic. This is Falcons. The members of Falcons, the rivalry they've had for so long. I feel like we deserve this kind of MLBB.
They're both so tired of playing it the normal way, the clinical way, the template. What? Clean MLBB, we know each other so well. Clean MLBB isn't going to work. We're just going to slug it out and see who has the better mechanics.
Team Falcons and Onic Esports. What a show they're putting on. But yeah, I think at this point now, the next big error will definitely be costly. It's getting closer to 20 minutes now. A wipeout could potentially lead to your loss and the victory for the team that caused the wipeout.
Definitely, definitely. A lot of these fights, though, for Team Falcons have looked way better compared to early and mid. Why? It's because Sans has been struggling to actually use the real-world manipulation to nail people down. The mobility for Falcons, especially the Joy and the Moskov, is at an all-time high. So if they're able to bait out the RWM, that kind of stops Onic from doing what they've been able to do their full game, almost the entire duration of this game, which is punishing the dive of Team Falcons.
Okay, they're both parallel right now in their positioning. Flapteezy's going to show himself. He finds Sans Keyboy. Keyboy tosses Flapteezy. The missile arrow unfortunately will not land. But Onyx not full committing. Okay, despite things getting quite scrappy, we didn't see a full wipeout. There's always at least 1 or 2, maybe sometimes even 3 on the side of Onic Esports, because usually it's just been Lutpi, Severo, Keyboy Severo, that variation, but no full wipeouts just yet. And that's why no one has taken the considerable lead.
So close to being an Abyssal Arrow on Severo in the mid lane alone. Few's been throwing these out, you know, very, very accurate, but hasn't been able to find the right target just yet at the right time. He finds Kyrie, he finds Lutpi a couple of times, but the timing and, you know, the follow-up is just not there. He needs to find the perfect one, and those are flying out so quick, and it's on. Whoa!
Okay.
That's Lutpi with an Oracle and Radiant Armor. By the way, that's not a glass cannon CC. That's a pretty tanky CC, and Kyle just did that.
Yeah, that's all. That's like 50% of Lutpi's health gone right away. He had to heal through. I believe it was a Scaled Lizard that was right there. Good thing for him. But Onic Esports, they're spending a lot of time topside. They have to send bodies to the bottom lane because there's a wave pushing down there. Let's see how many Onic Esports will show on the map for Team Falcons to say it's time for us to lord. Owen goes in with a flicker and the kick onto Lutpi. Lutpi will be able to get away. Abyssal Arrow toss up by Keyboy to save him. And Real World Manipulation was committed by Eve. So big ticket ultimate's gone for both. Now this time Onic has positional advantage in the Lord, but look at the minion waves in the side lanes.
Lutpi will be sent down below Keyboy!
Oh, with the toss-up onto Ogwin! Immortality pop! Here comes Flapteezy in the backline trying to go after Severo. SLD will let Super Marco! Is able to find Severo! When the Abyssal Arrow gets tossed, no one gets hit. Meanwhile, in the Lord pit, Sans is up next on the dock. That's 2 down for Onic, and Team Falcon smells a win on the way. The minion waves are crashing in, but Team Falcon slowing things down, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Ogwin again with a kick onto Keyboy. Keyboy trying to hold on. Lutpi gets blasted by Kyle. Kyrie trying to defend. The minions crashing in. And the Falcons will soar over Onic in Game 1.